posición vacante.
That cleared up?
¿Sí está claro eso?
Gracias. Sí.
No, del brother Creel.
Brother Creel?
Yes, sir. Brother Tomlinson, if I understand what the Assembly has told us, it says that in the event that the office of General Overseer is declared vacant, that the Overseers, the Presbytery will come together, choose a moderator, and proceed from there. I think it'd be wonderful if you would serve interimly, but I don't understand how we can...
I'm not dead yet, brother.
I know that, Bishop. I'm not.
They have to be gone on for that.
Well, I don't understand that being the reading of minutes. Maybe I need to look it up. Pardon me.
I thank the Lord I'm able to be here with you, brother.
Sí, el hermano, pues, él presenta, ¿verdad?, que en las minutas no está escrito que tuviera las elecciones así el moderador antes, pero el hermano dice que todavía no está muerto, que cree que es así.
You wasn't opposing that, what they...
Ah.
All right, who's that then?
Pregunta que si se opone el hermano.
You asked me if I was opposing. That was the question, wasn't it?
Yes.
I would like for us to read what the minutes say. If that's the will of the brethren, I'm willing to submit. But I've never understood it that way. I'll be frank, I think it would be very difficult to discuss some of these things with you present, sir.
I'm not going to stay. I'm fixing to leave right now.
Well, whatever the brethren wish.
All right, brother.
Bishop Tomlinson, Brother Ortiz, if I'm understanding what you're doing, sir, I think there is a legal declaration, which is what you are advising to do, but we have actually a functional operation that you're putting us into, that you're asking us to proceed with this delicate selection. So there is a functional vacancy that you're declaring, but you will be making the legal declaration after this body reaches the conclusions. If I'm understanding it, that is what you're asking us to do. You're asking us to functionally look at this, and legally you will then declare after the body makes its selection. This is the way I'm understanding the declaration of vacancy being functional and legal as far as the declaration.
That's right.
Sí, el hermano Ortiz pues presenta de que lo que él entiende entonces que el hermano funcionalmente ha declarado vacante la posición de supervisor general, pero que legalmente la declarará una vez se seleccione a el nuevo supervisor general que ustedes seleccionen. Entonces él hará una declaración legal al final.
I'd like for someone to explain it a little clearer, if they could.
After the read by resolution from the Assembly. Would that be all right, sir?
That'd be all right.
Be it resolved that in the event of a vacancy in the office of General Overseer, the 3 field secretaries are to carry on the administrative work of the church until the state national overseers could meet to choose a general overseer to serve until the next General Assembly. Although the field secretaries carry on the administrative duties of the church, the office of General Overseer remains vacant until the overseers make their selection. Such meeting of the state national overseers to convene as soon as possible within the 30-day period following the vacancy in the office of General Overseer. Dismissing these complicated terms, or terms to complicate the language just now, of legality and functional, it looks like we have, the Assembly has resolved, and it's been approved, that the office must be vacant. That's the way I read it.
Well, Brother Phillips, the office is not vacant yet, and the General Overseer is calling for the Presbytery to make a selection. I want to have someone to say it's vacant to give to it since I'm still alive. If I was gone on, that's the way you'd have to do it, see. I thank the Lord I'm still alive, and I want to live as long as the Lord wants me to. But this is the way I thought it ought to be done. Anybody have some suggestion as to...
Sí, lo que ha sucedido, ¿verdad? Hermano Phillips pues leyó de las minutas de la asamblea donde explica, ¿verdad?, que la posición de ser declarada vacante. Hermano pues no lo ve así porque dice que todavía está viviendo, pero ahora pregunta si hay alguna otra sugerencia.
Brother Tomlinson, I'm very pleased that you're alive, sir. And I've always thought you would outlive me. I'm still thinking that's a possibility. So it has nothing to do with that. And I love you and appreciate you. I think there's another minute that says that the vacancy doesn't have to be declared just by death, but by an inability physically to function, as you have mentioned earlier here. And as our brother has mentioned before, it'd probably be difficult for us to proceed without knowing that the office is vacant. It would complicate it, make it difficult. That's my thinking.
Brother Tomlinson, Eugene Johnson from North Carolina. I think really what you're asking is, after you leave, this body of overseers declare the office vacant. If they declare the office vacant, then they can proceed and make a selection of another man. And they are empowered to do that after it becomes an overseer's meeting. They can declare then that the office is vacant for the reasons you stated in your open letter to us.
Si el hermano Johnson presenta que él cree que en sí él puede declarar la oficina vacante debido a su situación física, que él puede declarar, entonces los supervisores, ya estando la oficina vacante, pueden proceder a hacer la selección.
I believe that, Brother Nunnery from Kansas, Brother Thomas, I believe that we can officially go on with this meeting since the General Overseer acts for the Assembly when it is not in session. And since he has that authority to call this meeting, and he's still General Overseer, and he acts for the Assembly, it kind of seems like we might be able to go on with the meeting.
El hermano Nunnery pues dice que él cree que el supervisor general pues puede actuar por la asamblea ya que ha recibido esa autoridad y que por eso puede llamar y proceder con esta reunión.
I'm going to sit down here in just a second. Can somebody tell me if I can't read? What is this resolution? I mean, it looks like we're avoiding what this resolution says. This is our minute. This is our, I guess, a declaration that we made only last year. If I'm not going to get any help with this, if I'm wrong, I'm just going to sit down. But I think I've done everything I could to make this clear with what we have resolved.
All right, there's someone wants to speak.
Mano Torres, Mano Ortiz, Mano Ortiz, puede ayudar, Mano Torres.
Lo que yo quisiera, Julio Nelson Torres, supervisor de Colombia.
Julian Torres, the overseer of Colombia.
Lo que me gustaría es que hubiera...
I would like to, what I would like to do,
que hubiera más cooperación en el sentir de la interpretación, del traducir.
He said that he would appreciate if we could have a little bit more cooperation over the interpretation.
Sí, pienso que este es un trabajo un poquito difícil, entonces a veces comienzan a hablar en inglés.
He says that sometimes this is a difficult task, and different brethren begin to speak rather rapidly, and more or less they're left out of what's going on.
Y nosotros, las personas que hablamos español, nos gustaría poder estar al tanto de todo, entonces sería bueno si pudiéramos poderlo hacer un poquito más.
He said, we, the Spanish folks, we'd like to be right on top of everything that is being said, and if it's possible, if that could be done, that would help them.
Eso es todo, gracias.
This is all. Thank you.
Yes, for the people that speak slow, that way we can translate to Spanish. That's the request of the brother.
All right, brother.
Brother Tomlinson, Sherman Allen from Ivory Coast, West Africa.
Hermano Sherman Allen de la Costa de Marfil en África.
It would seem like we are going to have some difficulty here.
Parece que vamos a tener alguna dificultad en esta reunión.
I was wondering, it seems like it's going to be difficult for us to say one thing in a General Assembly,
Parece que va a ser difícil decir una cosa en la Asamblea General
then act in a different way in another meeting.
y entonces actuar en forma diferente en otra reunión.
Now, it seems like I'd like to ask the question, sir, if it would not be possible for you to declare the office vacant at this stage.
Y el hermano pide que si no es posible que él pueda declarar la oficina vacante en este momento, hermano.
Thus, clearing the way for any other further complications.
Y de esa manera pues se clarifica todo para que no vayan a haber complicaciones más tarde.
I know your intention is to do this after,
Yo sé que la intención de usted es hacer eso después de la reunión,
but in order to remove any complication as we are experiencing now,
pero de tal manera que no sigamos teniendo todos estos problemas como el que estamos teniendo ahora.
could this not be done now?
¿No puede usted declarar vacante su oficina ahora?
I'd like for Brother Edwards to give us some explanation.
Brother Tomlinson has asked me to try to share with you his feelings. He has called a presbytery meeting.
El hermano Tomlinson me ha pedido que le explique el sentir de él de llamar a esta reunión de presbiterio
To share with you his concerns.
para tratar con ustedes las preocupaciones de él.
In turn, it would become an overseer's meeting,
De hecho, se va a convertir en una reunión de supervisores
and as he mentioned, he would be leaving,
y como él dijo, él se va a retirar
and the overseers would make a selection.
y los supervisores harán una selección
Then he would return to pass the mantle,
y entonces él regresará para pasar, como él dijo, el manto,
thereby not leaving us without a captain of the ship
para no dejarnos a nosotros
during the
para
period
no
of
dejarnos a
time.
nosotros sin un capitán en el barco durante este tiempo.
I would also think that he would have the privilege of rejecting whoever you might choose.
Creo que él tendrá también el privilegio de rechazar también a la persona que ustedes escojan.
I don't see where that would happen. I'm just saying that
No sé
until he vacates the office,
Yo creo que esto, pues, no, si acaso no complica la cosa,
he would also have some input in a selection.
sin dejar vacante la oficina, pues entonces también tiene algún derecho para la selección de esa persona.
If he were to vacate at this time,
Si él declarara vacante la oficina en este momento,
then we would be without a general overseer for the next couple of days, whatever it might take.
no tendríamos un supervisor general por los próximos días, lo que tome esta reunión.
So he was desiring for a smooth transition
Entonces, que él ha designado para un movimiento eficiente,
to come back at the end of your overseers meeting
el regresar al final de la reunión al final de esta reunión de supervisores,
declare another presbytery meeting,
declarar otra reunión más de presbiterio
and do the formal installation.
y entonces hacer la instalación formal de la nueva persona.
Brother Tomlinson?
I'm not sure what it means by formal installation.
Él dice que no entiende qué quiere decir eso de instalación formal.
If it's just an overseer's meeting to discuss this, I understand that in case of you not being able to be in the meeting, you have the field secretaries to help you out with this, if I'm not mistaken.
Ya que si usted no está presente, tiene a los secretarios de campo para que lo ayuden.
Perhaps I'm misunderstanding something here, but it seems like we're discussing to choose a moderator for all these sessions, and now it seems like we're talking about reinstallation, and I'm not sure where we're at.
Hablamos de seleccionar un moderador para la reunión y ahora estamos hablando de reinstalar a una persona y él dice no sé dónde estamos.
If I could have a clarification, and I'm not sure I understood completely Brother Edwards' statement there.
Si pudieran clarificar un poquito más, porque creo que no entendí bien lo que dijo el hermano Edward.